We are recording. Let me start background music now. And then I'm just going to go into it, alright? Make sure it's not too loud. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Northside Plow with Pop.1 Podcast. I am here with most of the Pop.1 team. I got my boy Danny with me, the team captain Devin Schlink, and then our good friend Alex. He's in here too. We're going to be talking about the ban list that dropped today and kind of discuss a little bit about it and everything that's kind of going on. It's a very weird day. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, it's a day. It's a day. We wanted a list. I don't know if this is the list that we wanted.
Yeah,
it never is.
Yeah, it never is. It never is. It got kind of weird. A few cards that we didn't expect and a few cards that we kind of expected, but they definitely didn't hit the one that we all expected. Mystic Mine is still at 3 for Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, and it's well, I'll let these guys go over it. They're more into the discussing, so we'll have Danny, Devin, and Alex pretty much talk about how they feel about it and see what's up.
So, last episode we talked about in the middle, kind of our thoughts on the ban list, where we thought it was going to go. Turns out we suck at predicting the future. We have no idea what was going to go on. We said Mystic Mine was going to get hit.
Yeah.
We said we wanted Super Poly to get hit. Konami said we said we wanted a lot, and the only thing that happened was the one thing our casual team owner said, which was Fairy Tale Snow. So big shout out to Preston for getting that shit right, because you know, the rest of us was wrong.
Yeah,
so.
He got hit pretty hard. It's all the way gone. Along with that, Hulk got hit as well.
I never really thought Halky Fibrex was a problem, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not right now. It kind of was. I know locally over here, it kind of was a little baby issue. You know, whenever Devin plays it in the deck, it gets it gets a little crazy. But it was a little issue for a while. I don't think that it was absolutely necessary to ban it right now. I mean, of course, you can do a lot with it, and you know, especially bringing things in and out and doing all that stuff. It can deal some damage and really get you a board set up. But for it to be all the way banned, I don't think it was a really the best call.
I think that what you just said wasn't really the best call. Can be used to summarize this whole ban list.
Yeah.
Like this ban list is and we're gonna go over it a little bit here. See what was limited, what was taken out. I'm sure by now you guys have probably seen it. It's nothing crazy. It's not exactly good, but we'll talk about it at the end after we get through it. So do we want to hop right into reading out these cards?
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here so they can see the whole screen and everything like that.
Okay, so we'll go over monsters first. Obviously, the big one that I do agree with, I think we can all kind of agree, is Fairy Tale Snow going away. Unfortunately, our teammate Alex in here does play Tier Element, so he might a little biasness.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Fairy Tale Snow need to go. That card's too.
Yeah.
What? It lasted one format. Is that right? It came back last. Yeah. Yep.
I actually saw a meme today where a guy opened his OTS pack, and in his pack he had the slime token, Fairy Tale Snow, and Red Reboot.
Oh, that's right. They just reprinted Red Reboot and Fairy Tale Snow, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah. So
all right.
They got their money's worth.
Yeah.
So Alex, as a tier player, how do you feel about Fairy Tale Snow being hit?
So, to be quite frank, like, when I went home and looked at my deck when I got home, the very first thing I did was take Snow out, and my deck stayed the same. I feel bad for the players, but all in all, like, it sucks, but it's not too bad.
Yeah. Okay. So next, we have something that hurts me until I sold the deck not even 30 minutes ago, is Ronin Tonin. So that card is now banned. They said, get rid of it. We thought Swap Frog could go to 1. That would have been kind of a good call. It would have been exactly what the OCG did. But they said, nope, F you. You're not getting Toad Ollie Awesome out unless you work hard for it. So here we are. So I sold the deck. I think, Devin, you're still gonna try and build a Sprite deck, right?
Yeah, I guess you could call it Sprite. It's got like 6 of the cards in it, but no, I picked up a Super Ronatoad on Thursday, so that hurt.
How
really
much was the Super Ronatoad?
They're like 17, 20.
Well, on the bright side, it's not 17 anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
You can pick up more of them.
Yeah, buy high, sell low, right? So that was unfortunate. I definitely don't think the Toad line is as viable. Any one-hand trap and your board is negligible. I think you have to mix the runics in some fashion just to have the extender. I think the deck's pretty close to dead. Like, because if you go elf, red, carrot, like if you start putting up your negates, you're getting super polyed. And I just don't think it's as consistent anymore. So I think it just made tier 0.
Yeah, I agree. So going up, we have Christian Hockey Firebracks, which we just talked about. I don't necessarily think the card needed to be hit, but as some people have mentioned, it's also probably a prelim for some stuff that's coming out. As well as as we'll see in a little bit, they unbanned a Blackwing card, so they care more about Blackwings than they did Christian Hockey Firebracks, I think.
Yeah, they gotta sell them. They gotta sell this new set, man.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Darkwing Blast.
Come on.
Exactly why they just nerfed Sprite.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me that, Sprite gets hit. It's a great deck, don't get me wrong, but tier is actually, like, really... It's going so nuts in the format that, for them to not get touched at all and for Sprite to get touched, because actually, as we've seen, like, in the past, week or whatever, Sprite, it's holding up and everything, but, tier is just reigning supreme, and for them to get another little boost and kind of, knock Sprite down just a little bit more, it's actually amazing to me just that they're focused more on that. The whole thing was like, Sprite this, let's get the top deck, and that's what everybody was thinking before we had Power of the Elements. And now it's just looking the other way, that tier is just going to reign supreme for, a good minute. It's going to be a good card. And there's new support coming out as well, it's just...
Yeah. It's, I think Sprites will make a small recovery. I think there's some good cards coming out for Sprite that'll help, but tier's just going to be too much.
You're going to see it at every locals, every event. It's going to reign for a long time. Get used to it.
Yep. So, looking back...
Tier 0 format?
Are you talking about looking at a tier 0 format?
Yeah, you think that's coming up with this new ban list?
I think so. I think we'll talk about it a little more after the ban list part, because I personally think it's gonna be as close to tier 0 as we're gonna get.
Well, I think with the Darkwing Blast support is gonna put it over the top.
Yeah, I agree. So finishing off, we're just gonna fly through this a little bit. Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon. I know this helped Punk a lot. I know that's was the big thing that I heard it was for. I don't necessarily know that this needed to get hit. I haven't just like straight up lost this card, but I agree that it is hyper powerful. So yeah. Red Reboot getting banned. I've seen a lot of chatter online about people being super upset this card is banned, but then
it's not really, it's one of those things that you're just like, why? I get, Red Reboot can be a very salty card or whatever, but with all the other problems that we have in this game, I just don't really agree with it. Just like getting the
nah, like what's your answer to an Eradicator? Like we don't have an answer anymore. Yeah. It's gone.
It's like, almost you just like Konami wants tier elements to just.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and the new support's broken. It outs the Mystic Mind, so I don't think we're gonna have the Mystic Mind problem with the new support of tiers.
Yep, I agree. So looking into limited, we have Blackwing Steam the Cloak. Obviously, this is probably the reason how K5Rex got taken off, is for Blackwings to reign. This is a very good card. I think this will be one of the cards off the ban list that we're gonna see play. Kind of excited to see what it does. Have you guys ever played in a format where it's been hyper used?
No, not me. I haven't played the game that long, but I'm excited to see what comes with all this.
I haven't even read it, to be honest.
It's good. Check it out after this. Cyberjar.
It's too slow.
Yeah, that's not doing.
I love
anything.
it. Too slow. Yeah.
Mecha Phantom Beast, Olion. I don't know what that card does.
It's for Hulk. So now no Hulk, no O-Lion. Yeah.
Substitute.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, they were like, you know what? We'll make them feel pretty good by giving them a substitute.
Anybody want to play Treeborn Frog Turbo?
So scrolling down, we have Spellbook of Judgment. This is going to make some people happy. We've already seen buyouts on this card on TCG Player. I don't know if this is going to be good.
No.
It'll make people happy.
It'll make them happy, but not good. Like, you still lose to the Spell Canceller, Eradicator shenanigans, and like, yeah, you get the draw and the recyclability, and you can really pray to sit on that Jowgen. But what, you got one fate? Well, not one fate, but like, you fate them a couple times, and then, I don't know.
This makes nostalgic players like myself, who Spellbooks were one of the first decks I ever saw, really happy. It's not going to do anything.
No.
Picking up Spellbooks as a fun locals deck might be a little bit more viable now, but...
Better be max already.
Now the next card. A Pointer of the Red Lotus.
I told you, I never lost a duel, and they heard me. They're watching my videos.
A Pointer is good. At the 10 case tournament that we all went to, that, spoiler alert, we all got top 8. We all scrubbed out. We didn't get any of the prizes. We're all dog poop at the game. Every time I resolved a Pointer of the Red Lotus, I won. I also won every single one of my matches other than top 8, which was the one that mattered the most. So,
yeah.
But I don't think this card needed to go. But at the same time, I despise hand-ripped cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Absolutely despise them. So, biasness is kicking in. The card needed to go. But
I'll remember that when I hand loop you with Omega and Trish.
Yep, remember.
Build my synchro.
Come across the face. All right. So let's see. Going into unlimited cards, we've got Dynamite Knight, the True Draco Fighter. This will make Draco fiends happy. I don't think it's going to do anything.
Nope.
Cyber Angel Benton. Now is a real good time for why I'm super happy. I just picked up my Diviners, but I don't think this is going to do too much. Right before we filmed this, actually, Devin and I were testing on Omega, and I played into a Drytron deck, and it was cool, and the stealing my monsters was interesting, but it wasn't enough. Shooting Riser Dragon, I don't know what that card does, whatever.
It was the dump for snow 90% of the time.
Oh.
It's a free dump, and it's a 7. Makes Barone.
Yeah. Fusion Destiny, that card coming back to 3 makes sense to me. I don't know why a card like that would even be at 2.
Yep.
Go. Watch the PE market right now.
Yeah, so for any of those watching, you go on to TCG Player, you type in Plowed as your seller. He's got some Starlight DPs for you.
Yeah.
All right, so Nadir Servant to 3. This makes me happy. As a Eldritch player in my soul, this makes me so happy. Immediately, I came home and put another Nadir Servant in here, and it's not going to do much because, Tier Limits is a thing, but it's pretty good. It's pretty nice. It makes me happy. So, and then Trickstar Light Stage. I don't care.
I guess,
Wall of Revealing Light.
No.
Like,
Hell yeah.
Mystic Mind's a card. Mystic Mind's a card. Why am I playing Wall Revealing Light?
yeah, like
Yeah,
they were.
With the whole, I feel just like underwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those things to where we've been waiting so long for this. It's been a minute, and then all of a sudden we get it, and it's just like, okay, I guess on some things, why on other things, and what the fuck is Mystic Mind still doing at 3? You know what I mean? It's just one of those cards that, I mean, Devin is going to Minneapolis. When is it for the YCS coming up?
October 20th, 2nd and 23rd.
I'm calling it now. Mystic Mind will some type of way top and almost take it home, if not take it home. They do it every single time. And it's like, okay, Konami finally sees it. Mystic Mind, they're winning every event, blah, blah, blah. They have to ban it. I guess not.
Well, I mean, looking into it now with Tears and Darkwing Blast getting inherent support searchable to out Mystic Mind, I think it's going to be interesting. Because, I mean, they already have the Eradicator, they already have the Spell Canceller, and now they can search the out to mine if they know they're on it. Now, that's just going to make good players have to play around it before they mine because they don't have a negate. They still got to worry about Necro Valley if you're looking at the Exosister list, because that's going to shut them down too. So do they spin that or do they spin the mine? It really just kind of depends. But I think it was crazy that Tier is getting an inherent out to mine, and they're getting a negate for Nib and Gamma. While Splight is like, here you go, you're neutered, you can't do, you know, Elf Double Toad. Like, the Snow hit was great, but like, hit a Spell Canceller, hit an Eradicator, hit indirectly. You could still play Tears and they're still broken. But like, the fact that they can do what they do now, like, Griffin, you can't play with no spells. Like, set some traps, hope they work.
They could have just banned the card that pitches to grave something. And
Curious?
Yeah, that would have been fine too.
I mean, when they're milling 12 a turn, they're gonna see something.
Yeah. It's.
You know, the field spell for Tier went back up. It's almost at $100 now.
That it is Tier 0. Like, what else are you gonna play? Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's gonna be a very weird time in Yu-Gi-Oh, but you know, we'll get through it.
I'm calling it now. I think if our prediction is right, maybe we're wrong. Maybe Tier Laments doesn't become Tier 0. But after Minneapolis, I think we're going to have a pretty clear-cut meta. And I'm telling you, this reminds me of when Pepe came around. Pepe was around for one YCS.
Yep.
And I think that whole top cut was nothing but Pepe. And I think that's good. This is going to be like... Yeah. It's going to be Exosister Pepe.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Exosister, I mean, I really see potential in this deck, you know, moving forward. I think it's gonna be up there. Not like it isn't already up there. Like Michael said today, it's like one of the top rogue played decks. And it has potential to have some moves. We got a few people, you know, especially down here, locals and stuff, that are throwing different packages in and making it work. Do you guys think that it's just gonna be one of those decks that can be a problem?
I think it is. So it's a deck where if it faces all meta, it will win, but once it goes up against Rogue, it gets shit on.
Yeah.
Like, if you face a Runic player, you lose. If you face Eldritch, you lose. If you face anything that is not doing the graveyard shenanigans and like just beat sticks or just whatever, it loses. Now, if they go to a YCS where you're expected to play almost every match is a meta deck, then yeah, like, I think they can go very far because their whole deck is tiered to the best deck. But I think once they start getting into rogue matches, once they do, they fall off, and that's why you only see like one in the top cut and stuff like that, because their grind game just isn't as good. It's kind of like Flu. Like, if you face like the meta and you're de-shifting them and pulling off the combos, you win. But as soon as you face something that doesn't care, like, you just lose.
Speaking of Flu, I've been seeing a lot of people asking for Flu in the Discord. And a lot of people are getting ready to build that up. And also Branded Despia. And of course, a lot of it is coming from the tins and all the reprints and everything. You know, the decks are very cheap. I think me and Danny were talking earlier that you can probably get Flu for a hot $75-80, like the whole deck. And it's just, the ban list didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, it did not do anything. You know, it's definitely changing up the game just a little bit today, but I think it's going to be very easy to adapt. Not as much as it would, you know, if they hit just something insane to where it handicapped these meta decks, which it really didn't. You know, Sprite and Tier is still going to, you know, reign supreme, but maybe we'll see a little bit more play with some Brandon Despia, Flu, and Exosisters.
Yeah, so just to recap, for top 32 for the YCS Atlanta that Pepe was legal in, 29 out of the 32 spots were Pepe. So we would need to see something similar to that for tiers to be considered Tier 0. Now, Alex, you're our tier player of the team. What are your thoughts? Like, do you think we're over exaggerating tiers as somebody who plays it? Do you think, you know, maybe we're just being butthurt Nancy's about it? Or what do you think?
So, tier has one inherent problem that just got way more emphasized, in my opinion, is that it doesn't have an Omni negate, right? And banning Chaos Ruler and Hulk takes away the whole Barone aspect of the deck. So, realistically, what can the deck do to set up that Omni negate to not hard loose into the Biru And on top of that, one of the other things within the beer was a follow-up play. You had Fairy Tale Snow and Gizmek engraved. You lose Fairy Tale Snow, you lose a follow-up play now.
Yeah, it also, I think, makes your rank 4 harders for the, you really got to choose between Dweller or Dagaris or whatever to Spell Canceller. And then once again, I still think, like, Evenly's the right call because they don't put up an Omni Negate and they lose so much value. I mean, that puts you on one monster and, like, possibly a Gizmek.
Exactly. So the
deck in hand.
Deck is extremely strong, extremely powerful, but it does have some very glaring weaknesses at this ban list that, you know, in ways that aren't really being talked about right now. I feel like kind of bring to light.
Okay. I think some things that propel tier isn't necessarily the tier cards themselves. Stuff like their free access to Super Poly, where everything's going to be amazing. Eradicator, Spell Canceller, stuff like that. That's mostly the stuff that I'm worried about. I think tier is what Shaddoll has always wanted to be, but having access to all the extra stuff is where my problem with it lies.
Yeah, if your board was just like Kaleido, Field Spell, Predaplant, I'd be like, okay. Or even Elf Merrily, I'd be like, alright, yeah, like that's manageable, especially in this metagame. But when they just can dump out and vomit floodgates that turn off, like, you know, almost half your deck. Like, if you look at a good deck, usually it's, you know, depending on what it is, but like 20 monsters, you know, 10 spells, 10 traps, something like, I mean, you're cutting off like 33% of someone's deck. I don't know. I just think that's so powerful. Plus, they at that point they're just put on monsters, and you have negates and super poly, or they're put on traps, which take a whole turn, and they're gone or irrelevant by that time anyway.
Which what blows my mind is they're letting Eradicator and Spell Canceller stay when they just printed a all spell engine, Runix. So they're inherently just like, oh, okay. While I don't think tier needed to get directly hit, removing the access to Eradicator or just Eradicator, because Spell Canceller is not the worst thing, because you can answer it with traps, you can answer it with monster effects.
Yeah, and they don't have the snow to protect it now, so it's like, okay. That's
so then Eradicator becomes way more fair. Or not Eradicator, sorry. Spell Canceller becomes way more fair.
Absolutely. But the Eradicator, spells or traps, puts them on monsters, and you've got Predaplants and Havness, and...
I was talking about this with some friends back home, but I truly think that if mine had gone to 0-1, Super Poly goes to 0-1, and Eradicator goes to 0, this format becomes really fun, honestly. And that's somebody who's about to splash Mystic Mine and Demise the Lands into their Eldritch deck. So.
Stop, dude.
Hey, it still loses to Eradicate.
What you mean, stop? It's right here, son. It's right here.
We're bringing the traps back out, huh?
Hell yeah. When you Eradicator Epidemic Virus me, your bitch ass better choose between spells and traps. You better pray to God you chose right.
Shut the 1 gold Mystic Mine.
Oh, I got 3 gold Mystic Mines.
One, bro. I ain't got no secrets.
That's funny, dude. Nah, you gotta have full secrets and the 1 gold. You have to win with the gold one, though.
Let's see how much Mystic Mine is right now.
Mystic Mine's shooting up right now, dude. It's looking
all right,
good.
so let's look at these. Let's look at these maximum gold ones. Oh, they're only $10. Okay. The 10 one shot up to 22.
Yeah, they were 30s. I think they went down just a little bit.
Yeah, this ban list has done some interesting things to the card market.
Go look at Starlight DPE.
Oh boy. What is it?
Just gotta power the elements.
The elements.
At the bottom. Up one.
Boom. 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 Come on, internet, let's go. Whoa, what the hell?
Yeah, Ultimate Slayers, around the 300 mark.
Alright, so Ultimate Slayer. Sheesh!
Near mint first day Korean. Let's go.
Alright, but the one that we want to look at here. This is what we call a spike, ladies and gentlemen. God dang!
Yeah, get that one for 450.
Hey, this one right here, boys. He's only got 15 sales, but he's got 100%, and you see his face.
Nah,
and you see his face.
I'm new to TCG. Mainly.
Let's just go ahead and add these to the cart real quick.
No, don't do it. It'll take them off.
I am. I'm editing the card. I'm not gonna take them away. I can't even afford that right now. God damn.
Yeah, it would.
Primeval Planet.
It would be nice. Get rid of them.
God, I sold these. I pulled like 9 of these things, and I sold them to everybody. Alex, don't you have mine? Don't you that I sold you? He ain't talking, but he bought mine. I'm gonna need those back plus interest.
What was it?
Wait, what I have from you?
You bought my Primeval Planets, didn't you?
No, so fun fact, I traded my entire Spike deck the day before Prosperities got announced for the deck, and that's where I got it from. I didn't get them from you.
Oh, that's right. Noah bought them for me.
You
Martha's are 200. Surprisingly, this deck won at YCS. The CRs went down.
It went down.
Yeah, watch it go up though. So a lot of people, I'm gonna give it about a week, and we'll see a spike with the Exo Sister. If we think it's gonna go, yeah, it's going right now. But if we think it's gonna go the way it's gonna go, give it about a week. This is definitely one that I think you should definitely look at, especially Martha herself, because she is the deck. Martha and Pax, they are the deck. So you just need to watch those because they're gonna make some noise.
Yeah, so now that we've ended, I'll talk about kind of everything. Are there any decks we think that could be surprising to the meta that maybe we have thought about? Devin, I know earlier you mentioned Dragon Links could potentially start becoming a problem.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I looked into that, and like Dragon Link now with the Toad gone can put up more negates. And I was watching Twitch, live Twitch matches with Hani, and like he was playing tier facing Dragon Links, and they're a deck to be reckoned with. Like they're very powerful. They do a lot of stuff. The Super Poly hurts them, but like that deck can spit out negates and problems like nobody's business, and super consistently. I mean, I played Dragon Links one time, and my opponent had no cards in hand, no field. He top decks Boot Sector launch, special summons 3, I lose. Like it can come back like nothing. It's still got all the grave effects, so it can still be hindered by like Exo Sister and stuff. But I think it's a very powerful deck, and it's monster reliant, so it doesn't lose to the Eradicator lines. It can keep grinding through one Predaplant, or maybe like a well-timed Zoroboros could really hurt it, but the deck is very, very powerful. I don't know, but it has so many techs and so many options, and I think it could be pretty strong.
What about Drytron?
Yeah.
Do you think Drytron's gonna go nuts?
That's what I'm picking up.
Yeah, the problem. So the thing about Drytron is like, it's a great deck. But like with the grave effects, so you inherently kind of lose now to Exo Sister, which never existed when Drytron reigned. So that's a huge problem for you. Also, everyone knows now to kind of stop move beta, and that really puts a big dampen on like your plays and stuff. DD Crow's in the meta, so if they hit your ritual spell, you kind of almost auto lose unless you're running 2, which is just terrible for consistency. Because I mean, they brick. Drytron's known for bricking.
Yeah.
The 3 bin 10 is huge, like consistency wise, and getting that extra tribute fodder and extra searches. But if you look at their boards, their greatest board is Vanity's Ruler, negate a spell or trap, and 1 more negate. So they can negate 2 spell or traps and you can't special, which is awesome. It saves from Imperm, it saves from Dark Ruler, stuff like that. But that's with no Crow, no Imperm, no Nib, everything that's like in the format. And then Exo Sister already shits on it. And if like the deck can't really do anything except Zeus if you get Eradicated or Spell Canceller, they just rely on a Zeus play at that point. Yeah. Being a spell deck like that, I think it still just loses to the inherent spells, and the deck bricks itself. So if you don't open the 2-card combo, its boards aren't super threatening.
And Danny's over there doing Eldritch again, so you think you're gonna have a nice run with the traps, bringing the traps back out?
Yeah, I do. I think in my monkey brain that if there has ever been a format for a Dogmatica Pure deck to succeed, it is this format right here. Because these guys aren't running Elder Entity and Tis, they're running Gararu. You can get rid of their stuff before it starts to become a problem that's in their extra deck. You can do so much. And with the advent of Ultimate Slayer, which paired with Dogmatica cards and 3 Nadir Servant, I think there's a lot of value in a going second Dogmatica deck. Do I know how to play that deck? Fuck no. But the cards are pretty cool, and they just do a lot, which is craziness. Like this card says, if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can send 1 monster from the extra to the graveyard. If you do, look at your opponent's extra deck, send 1 monster from it to the graveyard. So I get to send an Elder Instantinetis or Gararu or something, and I eat one of your cards out of the extra deck. Into sprites? Into like neutered sprites?
Oh no, it's not.
Like this card, I'm telling you, I think Dogmatic can come up. Am I smart enough to build it? Probably not, but somebody is. So
yeah, it might be something to look at. Yeah, we're just gonna have to give it a week or two and just see, how everything goes. I know there's a few events coming up that you guys are actually gonna hit. Action TCG this weekend, I believe.
There's a case tournament. They're using the new ban list.
Yeah.
And then the weekend after, that's the 9th, I believe, right? That is
Sunday,
the regionals.
regional.
Yeah, that's the regionals in Mildenhall. Is that 1 up?
Yeah, it's 1 up.
TCG,
1 up.
Shout out 1 up. And then you're going to Action TCG and Slidell. Shout out Action. Love those guys.
Yeah. And then the one that's on, I think it's the 15th of this month. That's put on by the Side Deck in Greenville, South Carolina. That's the one that I'll be rocking at.
Nice.
That's usually like a 300-400 person regional, so I'm pretty pumped for that. I'll be home playing with some boys. Shout out Zach, Matthew, Tony, Leonard, Edgar, who will all be there with me.
Fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah. Representing the Pop.1 podcast. Let's go.
Yeah, Alex.
Michael.
Yeah, Alex, we know you're working hard in the gym right now. You got anything to say?
Yeah, I'm excited for the 9th to go back to 1 up TCG for that regional. I've never topped a region in my life, but I am devoted
Let's
to
go.
making this my first one, so Devin can stop roasting me all the time.
And then I'm gonna roast you for not winning one yet.
It's
Hey,
okay.
I'm
We
making
can't
you
all
better.
take the free one.
Hey, that was 2015. That wasn't free. I was playing Necros 2 years after it was banned as shit.
Well, Devin and our other player, Michael, they'll be hitting up YCS Minneapolis coming up. Very excited about that one. I can't wait to see what they do. These two are very detailed with their decks, and they're gonna. I know the night before you guys aren't gonna get any sleep, dude. You guys are gonna literally just play Yu-Gi-Oh until you're tired of it.
And I think Darkwing Blast drops a week prior.
Ooh,
so this is gonna be a whole new meta, a whole new deck. No one's gonna have net deck profiles. The format's gonna change. You're gonna have to change your deck. Cut a kit for the new fusion. Think about running the spell to outmine. It's gonna be very interesting, and the meta will definitely be defined based off of that YCS.
Well, and other than
hopefully
Pasadena,
I can define it.
Other than Pasadena coming up, this is going to be one of the most popular YCSs of the year. Minneapolis is being talked about by all the Yugi tubers, all the pro players. Everybody's getting ready for YCS Minneapolis, so it's going to be a very, very sweaty competition. But I think Pop.1 will go there and show them how we play. It's going to be a good deal. I got 2 of my top players going there, and I'm super excited about it.
I'm nervous as hell.
Don't be nervous, man. You're the best player there is.
Look at Danny.
Danny's like, yo, bro. Danny, why aren't you going?
What weekend is that again?
October 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, I don't have the leave days.
Oh, I got you. I think camp is
yeah,
gonna be,
because you gotta
right with you
register
guys.
Friday. Yeah, saw that.
Shout out
Unfortunately,
FTP.
Will at Action couldn't go. I know we got a bunch of Michael's friends from Florida. Panda's going, as far as I'm tracking. Pandemonium Gaming.
Okay.
I don't know if how many or if any 1-up will be there, but
I'm sure they'll have players up there. Every time we think they're not going to be there, they end up walking in, and I'm sure they'll be there. I'm sure Fry will be up there too. Shout out Jonathan Fry, 1-up TCG, and Mendenhall and Tuscaloosa just got a new shop going.
yeah.
Do we know if there's any fantasy guys going?
Supposedly they said that they were going to be sending out 2 of their players, but we'll see how that goes. Shout out to them as well.
Yeah, my 2023 is the year that I'll be at YCS's.
Yes, so 2023 Pop.1 will have a big reign. We're barely doing anything right now and staying in up the south, so I'm hoping that once we get everything set, I know a lot of us have a lot of, you know, real life situations going on right now. So we'll get everything situated, get everything settled, and take 2023, take it all away.
Yeah. So I think that's all that we had. Did anyone else want to talk about anything else?
Nah, I think I'm good. I think this was a nice little video, and shout out everybody that tuned in all the way. If you're still here, make sure you like and subscribe to the video. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you think about the ban list and the future of Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, it's at a weird state right now. You know, it's kind of on a thin line. You know, you got a lot of people that are leaving, going over to Pokemon TCG. You guys been seeing that? So it's definitely a weird time in this card game, but you know, we're gonna rock it out. I mean, we've been in sketchy formats before, and we've always figured it out. It's just one of those things that you just gotta rock it. If you really love the game and you love how it's going, if you want to play meta, play meta. If not, good luck.
Yeah. So don't forget too, guys, to make sure you check out twitch.tv/the POP1 podcast.
Yes, sir.
Preston over there streams with some of his good buddies, one of the biggest ones being Butters. They're hilarious as hell to watch. Butters in and of itself is an enigma. What is that? Thursdays at 7:30 on Central Standard Time?
Yeah, we'll be twitch.tv/pop1pod, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. We go live, we open cards, we do flip decks, we do all this stuff. Come win some stuff, come hang out. It's a great podcast. If you love cards, if you love comics, collectibles, we're live every Thursday. Come join us. And
yeah.
I can't wait to see you guys. Can't wait to see you in chat.
Sweet. You guys have a great one, and remember to think 2 lines ahead.
Let's go.